I'm Brad, and today I'm going to be making kimchi. I've got a few different kinds of kimchi I'm going to make. Radish kimchi, cucumber kimchi, and bean sprout kimchi. And gonna have Korean for dinner, so gotta make all the fixings for it. Okay, so for the radish kimchi, which I haven't only made once or twice before, starts out the way a lot of kimchi does, and that is to cut and salt. So I have my daikon radish. I'm going to peel the skins off. It's kind of old, not that old. This is not one I grew in my garden. Which is too bad. There's a couple of different radish kimchis that they're both good to have. There's the sliced matchsticks, and then there's the cubes. I'm gonna try to make the slice because I think it'll be ready faster. But I think I've actually had less luck making the sliced in the past, and the cubes are easier. So who knows how it's going to turn out. So I'm going to try to get these into a slice, maybe 1/4 inch thick. If I could do this on the mandolin, it would probably be better. It'd be a little bit more uniform, but I'm not. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. Get one more out of this. Okay. That's kind of ugly, isn't it? I'm gonna eat these raw. Pretty good. Kind of crispy. Full water. So I've got my stack of slices. You can't really see, they're individual slices. Now I'm going to try to make matchsticks out of them. One at a time. Probably need to cut these in half. It's the dangerous part now that I'm at the end here. Okay. At this point, I'm going to turn them into kimchi. I think, what is it, in Vietnamese, in banh mi, they also get a very similar preparation as this. And there they go. Probably could be broken in half here. But yeah, sure. You can be rough with them at this point. They're going to get salt. And get a lot of the water squeezed out. And that's how you make these. The thing about daikon radishes, they're not very spicy, which is, some people think that's a good thing. Makes them easy to eat raw, real easy. So I'm going to put a little bit of carrot in, not much. It's going to get the same treatment as the radish. Probably what I had a recipe open, like 5%, 10% carrot to radish. Probably 10% is too high, 5%. Very small amount of carrot compared to the radish. And I think also for Vietnamese banh mi, that's pretty normal. Well, it gets the same treatment, that it gets the same kind of quick salt and pickling to end up on your sandwich. Okay, so I got, what do you think? Maybe not quite a pound of vegetable mass here. Try to get a little bit more in here. Not good. So I don't know the amounts that well. But I think I can always rinse it off. I'm going to start with a heaping teaspoon of sea salt, which I don't think is too much, but it might be. And just work that in with the vegetables. With the daikon radish and carrots. I'm going to drain all the water out. Kind of change their texture too from a crunch to more, not, to more chewy, I guess, is the way to describe it. Still, they'll still have like a fresh crunch, but it's not as like crisp as straight out of the garden or whatever. And they'll, you know, taste a little better because they got salt on. Okay, so let's set half an hour. Now I'll do the cucumber, which is really very similar to radish. Cut off the ends, or at least to start. Peel the skins. So I like to do a attractive peel pattern, even though you won't really notice it. Leaving some of the skin on can help keep it together just a little bit. So do like a, what is it, 4 across, 4 quadrants, 4 strips. So you could slice these at this point, and it would have like a, it'd just sort of be nice to look at. I'm going to leave it like this. Oh no, this one might just be 3 the way I got it. Let's maybe consider. Okay. Maybe flat. Okay. I'm gonna save these for the chickens. They'll love it. Now cut these in half. And take a spoon and scoop out the soft insides where the seeds are. It's a lot of water and juice that is fine, but we don't, it's not what we want for this kimchi. And the chickens will get that, and they'll be happy with that too. Oh, crap. Okay. Now similarly, I want these in, how do I want these? Okay, I want them in half, quarters. Well, I got all my cucumbers. A little bit of skin on, a little bit of skin off. Some people don't like the way the skin tastes. It's okay. Now, probably 1/2 inch pieces Like the radish and the carrots, they're going to go in a bowl. And they're going to get some sea salt. I probably don't need a whole teaspoon. But they do need some amount. I'll squeeze some of the salt out. So half a teaspoon. Now mix the salt in there, kind of squeeze the cucumbers just a little bit, make sure that salt gets distributed. Look, they all start weeping a little bit. I'm going to pour that juice off. Salt gets absorbed pretty quick. Just a little more. I don't feel like they're weeping enough. There. Okay. These are also going to set for half an hour. Okay, the next is the sort of green leaf kimchi. It's one of the, these are all dishes that if they're missing from your banchan, from your table, when you go to get Korean food, you'll be sad. And I like them all, actually. I think they're all really good. I might not make them like as good as I like, as much as I like them, but I think they're all really good. Anyway, so the green leaf kimchi is usually, I think it's usually spinach, but it can be made with, I'm no expert, okay? I'm sure someone will say I'm wrong. It can be made with sweet potato leaves. It can be made with radish leaves. I've had good success with radish leaves. I think radish actually has the closest taste to what I remember it's supposed to taste like, but most people use spinach. You can also use sweet potato leaves, and right now our sweet potatoes are going crazy. We got a lot of sweet potato leaves. They're good to eat. I'm going to use them today. And to start, they're going to be boiled for a short while. Right into the boiling water they go. I guess they're getting, I don't know quite how long they need to be boiled. I should have looked this up. I think 30 seconds-ish. This can be done raw, actually. That was like, what, a minute? Kills the raw flavor. Fixes the leaves so that they stay green, which is inactivating some kind of protein in them that would normally start to brown. And this one is so easy. All it is these leaves with a little bit of sesame oil and vinegar and a little bit of sesame seed on top. That's it. That's the whole dish. It's really, really tasty. It belongs on the table with the other kimchi. Okay, so I have my sweet potato leaves. They've been quickly parboiled. They're still hot. Now, if this was a professional kitchen, or I'm gonna try to get away with it, but you would want to drop these into ice water to immediately stop the cooking. I don't like to waste all the ice at home doing that, but it's what you're supposed to do. So to get these a little bit drier, I've got my salad spinner, which is really great for a lot of different things. You don't need it, but it's really nice to have. I got it at, I think I got it at Goodwill somewhere. Just found it. That's going to help me get all the liquid off, more of the liquid. These leaves are kind of all wrapped around each other, which is fine. I want them a little bit drier. No, you're not in it. Okay, I have my leaves. To my leaves, I'm going to eyeball dangerously Start with maybe half a teaspoon of soy sauce. Maybe that was a whole teaspoon. Whoops. And the same amount of sesame seed oil. And the same amount of vinegar. I don't know the exact amounts. I've got enough here that I can, this won't ruin it. And I'm going to sort of massage this sauce together, these ingredients together, and with these leaves. Looks like somebody wants to join me. Comments watching. Yeah, you. Yeah. You can't get up here. The leaves are all kind of stuck together. I don't think it's not exactly the way. They do get kind of, I mean, you do want them kind of an individual. They do end up like wrinkling and becoming one sort of mass anyway. But I'm just sort of pulling them apart to make sure that they get that the seasoning is equally distributed. Right, let's taste. No, I think you could do this a little sugar. It's not unheard of, but just a little sugar. Maybe a little bit more vinegar. Not much more. I maybe could have used about half as much sesame when tasting this. And you do put a little soy sauce in, I think. Probably there are plenty of people that would argue about what kind of soy sauce. I'm just using kikkoman, which is not Korean, so I'd expect an argument there. Cooking Mama, I don't know what brand that is. The Mama brand, that's the one you use. Yeah. That helped. And a little bit more vinegar. It's really not supposed to be wet, so I do think a little bit more sugar. It tastes right. Yep. Like I said, I'm using sweet potato leaves. Most recipes use spinach, and I think you can also use radish leaves too. And the radish leaves probably taste the best. Next, the bean sprout kimchi. So this gets very similar treatment as the leaves. It's going to get partially boiled, and then very minimal amount of just soy sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, vinegar, and sesame oil, and that's really it. Point of the bean sprouts. The bean sprouts are great. You can harvest them yourself. You can make them yourself. I have, but they go bad really quick. It takes like a week or two to make, and they only last about a week. Or a week or two to start from seed, and they only last about a week. They start going bad. And that's the point of the parboil, is to inactivate or grow, and any enzymes that would make them go bad. When they start sitting in the juices, it goes real quick. I really like bean sprouts, as they're very, very neutral flavor, and they're just a great way to add, like, they cook down to almost like a noodle-like texture. And otherwise, they're just like a vegetable, mostly water with a little bit of fiber. They're good for you. Or guilt-free. I have my partially boiled bean sprouts. That was like a pound and a half. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of dark soy sauce. This is the good stuff. Pearl River Bridge Superior dark soy sauce, mushroom flavor is really good. I'm gonna give it a teaspoon of vinegar. And half a teaspoon, I should learn my lesson of toasted sesame oil. And just mix it around. Very simple. It's just nice to have this on the table, you know. It adds a nice crunch, adds more to your meal. It's so easy. Give it a taste. A little more vinegar. Maybe a pinch of sugar. And maybe a pinch of salt as well. The dark soy sauce is not that salty. getting all over the place. That's good enough for me. With both, I didn't put it on the greens, but with both, you want to sprinkle some toasted sesame seeds on. Let's do it a good way. Pretty good. That's 2 out of 4 kimchis. My cucumbers have been sitting. Let's give a small taste. Oh, that's salty. So they need to be drained. I'm not going to rinse them. I'm just going to squeeze them here. Give them a squeeze. And then, kind of like, you know, these are all the quick fries of kimchi, and they get similar treatment. So I'm going to put half a teaspoon of this dark soy sauce. Teaspoon of vinegar, half a teaspoon of sesame oil, and this gets a nice pinch of fermented chili powder. Was that too much soy sauce? Bam. Let's give it another taste test. Just like that, kimchi number 3 done. All right, and to finish up our last kimchi, but the first one I started, we got the radishes and the carrots that have been sitting in salt. They're salt and juices for about an hour now. Just going to do like I did with the cucumbers. Squeeze some of that out. Hey, whoa. Hey, now. She's getting impatient. She wants her snacks. You wouldn't think so if you've never done this before, but there is a ton of water in carrots and radishes. Just keep squeezing. Just keep shrinking. More good squeeze. Okay, and then what seemed like was a pretty good amount, but now there's almost nothing. Still kind of salty. Okay, to that, I have some chives. I actually have both garlic chives and regular chives. They're going to go in pieces very similar in size to the matchsticks. Then I'm going to microplane. Hopefully this isn't too much. 1 clove of garlic. Ordinarily, this is one of the ones, they're all a little better if they set, but this is one of the ones that is better if it sets. It's not going to get the set tonight. That's okay. I think that's probably good. And similar, actually a little bit less, about half that amount of ginger. That's good. Then let's try teaspoon of gochujang. That's really good. Salty. Teaspoon of fish sauce. And is there anything else? A good sprinkling of sugar. Pinch of the fermented chili. That's good. just gonna work this around. Try to get the chili paste fully incorporated into the kimchi. I figured out another one of my favorites is the there's like a white fish strip that's also really good, and I think there's radish strips with squid strips that's also really good. Or is it just squid? I think it might be just, that's also really nice to have. But I don't have that stuff with me today, so. Hopefully that wasn't too much fish sauce. This is looking, it looks right. It looks similar to a kimchi I've had before anyway. And it doesn't taste too far off. So I'm going to call it done. For kimchis. I said we're having Korean barbecue, and so what I'm making is pork belly. I've got just plain and then marinated with some gochujang. And I'm going to put this on the grill it till it's crispy, cut up into slices, and it's going on lettuce wraps. Maybe I'll show you. Finally, no dinner would be complete without the classic kimchi. Now, I bought this, I didn't make this. I tried to make this. It did not come out, and I'm probably never again. I've seen how they make it. I've been to, I think, H Mart or somewhere where they had all the Korean ladies making it from raw cabbage, just slapping stuff together and sticking it in a bag. And I bought that, and that is great stuff, but I don't know how to make that. So, with that, dinner is ready. Let me show you what we're having. So we've got garlic, we've got the bean paste with mixed in with gochujang for the lettuce wraps. We've got our 5 different kinds of kimchi, the radish, bean sprouts, the sweet potato leaves, cucumber, and a regular, what everyone thinks of as kimchi. And got a bowl of rice. Got the whole works ready to eat while it's still good.